Content in. What's up, YouTube?
Content.
Yep, content. It's your boy Pickle. We're gonna be doing another vehicle tier list. Last time I did this was, I feel like months ago. So we're gonna go ahead and do it again because there's a lot of additions to the game, and after playing different amounts of time per day, my thoughts have changed a little bit. And we also have Azen here, and Spike Lead is on mute. So you will hear a bunch of spam pings and voice in the Discord if Spike disagrees with something, okay? So yeah, vehicle tier list. We're just going to go ahead and start with the obvious, the ones that haven't really changed, the turrets. Anti-personnel turret, anti-aircraft turret, and anti-vehicle turret. This is probably my placements. So obviously, I'm gonna go from S tier to D tier. Anti-aircraft turret is D tier. Number one, it doesn't have enough range to kill a vortex before it reaches the base. Number two, if it does kill a vortex, it doesn't kill the person, and then you die anyway because you're at a disadvantage from trying to hop out of the anti-aircraft turret to try and shoot someone that's parachuting, who probably is trying to dev your anti-aircraft turret, so you're taking damage from that. So you have to time your jump so you don't take any splash damage and either escape or engage. If you escape, then you didn't succeed in the task of keeping them out of your base. If you try to fight them, there's a very high chance that you're going to die. Really bad, really bad. Anti-vehicle turret does its job very well, but it still loses very badly to some of its hard counters like Mac Tank and artillery especially. And then anti-personnel turret is also pretty good at its job, but then again, it loses to everything that's not infantry. So it can't get really higher than B tier. Okay, here, I'll stream it to you guys. There we go. Alright. Next, I'll do the Navy next. We got Speedboat. Speedboat. We got Destroyer. Yeah, Destroyer. And we got Submarine. I'll put him there. So I'm gonna start with Speedboat. Speedboat, I think Speedboat's a B tier. It's definitely better than anti-vehicle turret in its job, because it does its job. Again, it does its job well, it just loses to a bunch of stuff. It is able to take out aircraft, but it loses very, very badly to all the land vehicles in the game. It loses to Jeep, and it loses to tank and artillery very badly. Mac Tank isn't much of a problem because you can just run away from that, but very hard to escape, and it doesn't kill aircraft as effectively to make up for that big deficit. So that's in B tier. Submarine is in C tier. It doesn't have a lot of weapon variety. It only has one purpose so far. One job is to kill Destroyer. And its secondary weapons, while they're good, they aren't very versatile. So if you pick Railgun, you have a great time killing land vehicles, but not a great time killing air vehicles. If you choose the machine gun, then you have a great time killing air vehicles, but not a great time during killing land vehicles. There's no good all-around weapon for secondary that is able to kill everything pretty effectively, and currently the primary selection is limited, so that's why I have them in. That's why I'm gonna leave them in C tier. Destroyer. I think Destroyer is S tier. I think Destroyer is top 3. It's just so damn good now. Again, it's basically the opposite of Submarine. It has a lot of weapon variety, especially now with the mortar and the railgun. A lot of weapon variety, a lot of versatility with those weapons. Inherently comes with that big variety. It's able to kill aircraft very well. It's able to kill land vehicles. That was its big deficit before. It kills them very well now. It has a lot of health. You can have a 3-man destroyer that can heal a bunch of damage. It can dish out a bunch of damage, and there's not a whole lot you guys can, do about it. It's just very, very solid. Its weapons are very good. You're able to kill infantry behind cover now with that mortar. It's extremely good. Extremely good. Alright, I'll do... Oh, there's one more. I forgot about this. Aircraft carrier. I'll put aircraft carrier in A. It's gimmicky. It was super popular when it was released, but now that there's a limit on it and a big 30-second timer on that cooldown spawn, it's not seen very well. It's supposed to act as a mobile base, and it does its job pretty well, but, you know, something's missing to make it a force to be reckoned with and make it S tier. I don't think it's quite there. It's still very annoying to deal with, but once you've dealt with it, it's gonna be a while before it comes back. Okay, let's do land vehicles next. Artillery. That's really easy. ATV is also pretty easy. Battle tank is also easy. We got Jeep. Spawn truck. And a Mac tank. Okay, so I'm gonna start from my bottom and work the way up. ATV is good at its job, but it doesn't. It just gets killed. It just gets killed too much. It just gets killed too much. It's too weak. Its boost is good, but you know the physics about the ATV. It's not what it used to be. It has good weapon variety, but it doesn't deal out a lot of damage. It's B tier. Spawn truck. Spike Elite says Spawn truck is D tier. I don't think so. I think Spawn truck in the right hand is very good. It's not seeing a lot of play right now, so that kind of shows you how well the individual result of a vehicle is, but a team result of the vehicle can be a little bit different. Spawn truck, I think, is very solid. Its nerfs, like when it got those weapons, I think it was probably A or S tier, but it got nerfed a little bit. And I think it's down to B tier. It doesn't deal out as much damage as I really wanted it to. Again, it's not a sustainable vehicle. And that's the problem with these kind of spawn vehicles. They're not sustainable. Spawn truck is still kind of sustainable, but it's not on the positive end of that. It's still eventually losing health. It is pretty mobile, so if you could get away, you could heal up if you get away, but you need a lot of healers for this thing to be sustainable and for you to have an active spawn truck in play and active the entire time. That's why it's in B tier. Jeep is in B tier because the physics are bad right now. The 85mm rocket, while I like it, not a lot of other people like it, and that's because of the projectile velocity. I love it, honestly. I feel like my aim with this 85mm rocket is as good, if not better, than the artillery. That might just be me, though. I really like the Jeep. I think it's top of B tier. Mac tank is easy A tier. Basically, same old shit. It just got power crept by other vehicles. Battle tank is very good. Its railgun is fantastic. The dual heat shells are as good as ever. The only problem is the battle tank, I think, should be the bottom of A tier. The only problem with battle tank is that it doesn't have that healing anymore for the gunner. I don't really like that. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but it really kind of knocked it off. Otherwise, I think it would be a very strong S tier. Very, very strong. It's a bug? Okay, well, if it's a bug, then I'll keep it at middle of A tier. I think it's very good. I think it's very good. Okay, let me see here. Mac tank should not be at the top of A tier. Artillery hasn't gotten nerfed since. Its nerfs were reverted, and now we're back to the god of the world. Artillery. Fantastic projectile velocity. Great damage against a variety of things. Anti-vehicle turret. All the anti-X turrets. We also have, you know, the aircrafts that gets destroyed by this. You can kill a tank. This is the thing. It can kill its designated counter if you're good at the game. That's basically what the speedboat is lacking. That's what the anti-vehicle turret is lacking. That's what the anti-aircraft turret's lacking. They can't kill its counters well. If you're good, you can use the artillery and kill its designated counters with relative ease, and that's why it's S tier. Okay, and last thing is aircraft. Aircraft. Yeah, helicarrier is also bugged, but it hasn't really changed. Helicarrier isn't sustainable. And that's the big problem with those tanky things. It's not sustainable at all. It's less sustainable than a spawn truck, especially if you only have 1 or 2 people. You're going to die. And that's the problem with helicarrier, is that you're going to die. You have to commit to using that, and you're going to die. That's why it's in C tier. End of discussion. I don't care how good its weapons are. You will die. Okay? Yeah, okay. It's above sub. Okay. Every other aircraft, I think, is A tier or above. Attack helicopter. I think it's the bottom of A tier. I think it's still very good. It just has some problems with turning and rotation ability, and overall just kind of moving around the map. Bomber's very good. Has good weapon variety. Thermobaric bomb still reigns supreme. Very solid. Not a whole lot of changes there. Shadow and Tracker Fighter. I think right now, Tracker, I think, is better at its job than Shadow is. Shadow's good, but it's not that good. I think Tracker is very good at what it does. The Tracker Fighter is able to kill land vehicles with ease, Navy vehicles with ease. It's able to hold its own in the air, and again, that's why it's top of A tier, because it's so good. And Vortex is still God. I still think it's the best vehicle in the game. Super mobile, great against everything. Infantry, other aircraft, Navy, and land vehicles. That's literally everything in the game. It can hold its own or easily beat. And that's what you want to see from a vehicle. It can hold its own against everything, and it can easily beat everything. Or a combination of those two. That's what you want to see from vehicles. That's what the Vortex, that's what the artillery, that's what the destroyer give you. And that's why I think they're S tier. There is my tier list.